Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Blue Breakdown as we go over the game balls and gassers for the New York Giants in their 20-13 season-ending loss to the Philadelphia Eagles down at the Linc. I'm Paul Dottino. All right, there's no sense in going over the story or the state of this game, how it unfolded. The Philadelphia Eagles had already clinched the number 2 seed in the playoffs, so they basically played a host of their backups. The Giants were forced to play an awful lot of backups too because of injuries to their guys. Now, the Giants finished 3-14 on the season. It was their 12th consecutive loss at the Linc. This stadium in Philadelphia has been a house of horrors for them. They also wound up with the number 3 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. So again, rather than go through the storyline to the game, we're simply going to go right to it and get to the game balls and the gassers. On offense, the game balls got to go to Malik Nabers. 5 catches, 64 yards. Early in the fourth quarter, he catches a 45-yard jump ball down the right sideline for a touchdown as he was able to do a catch and run. The deep pass down near the goal line allowed the Giants to cut the deficit to 17-10. Again, early in the fourth quarter, Nabers not only made the catch, but then made a nice move to break a tackle by cornerback Tristan McCullum as he was able to whittle his way into the end zone for his 7th touchdown of the season. Now, for Nabers, that also was his 109th grab of the year. It would be his final grab of the season, and it gives him over 1,200 receiving yards on the year as well. Now, the 109 catches, it would have been an NFL rookie record, but it was later passed in the afternoon by tight end Brock Bowers of the Las Vegas Raiders. However, we will go this way. Even though Bowers has the NFL record for all players, Nabers does have the NFL rookie wide receiver record. Puka Nacua of the Rams last year had caught 105 receptions during his rookie season. Again, Nabers now with 109. A couple of quick honorable mentions. Wan'Dale Robinson, 10 grabs for only 43 yards, but that gives him 93 on the season for 699 total yards. You want to get that average per catch up really for both of those receivers, but for Robinson, 93 grabs on the year. So him and Nabers combined for 202 catches for the season. That is the most receptions by any duo in the NFL this year. So we have to give him an honorable mention game ball for this one. And I also want to go to the Giants' offensive line. Not only did they not allow a sack in this game, they only allowed 2 quarterback hits, and it was the 10th different starting offensive line combination that the Giants have had this year. They went with Illuminor and Tyree Phillips at the tackles, Stinney and Kubas at the guards. Van Roten was at center. Azudu did split the time with Stinney at one of the guard spots. But Tyree Phillips is the notable one here. You'll recall last year in Seattle, he tore his quad. He was out for over a year, came back, was on the Giants practice squad, and made his debut at right tackle yesterday. A lot of credit to Tyree Phillips, who held up well in Philadelphia. Again, the Giants not allowing Drew Lock to get sacked once and only giving up 2 quarterback hits. I repeat one more time, their 10th different starting offensive line combination of the season. So an honorable mention to Carmen Brasillo, the offensive line coach, and his entire room of offensive linemen. My defensive game ball goes to inside linebacker Deontay Johnson. Now, last year as an undrafted rookie free agent out of Toledo, he had a really nice summer camp, wound up on the practice squad all season long, came back this summer and looked like he had something going on. And then injured his ankle in the preseason, had to go to injured reserve. Giants were able to bring him back to practice a couple of weeks back. Was brought to the 53 last week against the Colts, but only on special teams. Well, in this game, they allowed him to get a slew of snaps at the inside linebacker spot. And what did he do in his defensive debut? Led the team with 10 tackles. Nice job for Deontay Johnson, considering that the Philadelphia Eagles only ran for 51 yards on 25 carries and did not have a long run of more than 7 yards on the day. Now, again, Saquon Barkley did not play, but Kenneth Gainwell did see some time, as did Will Shipley. Now, Gainwell's a legit back. He finished with 11 carries for 14 yards. Shipley was at 10 for 32. So, although Barkley was not in there, Gainwell is certainly an accomplished back. The Giants' rush defense was terrific on this day. So we're going to go with Johnson for the defensive game ball. On special teams, Amir Smith-Marset does it again. Another game ball for him in back-to-back weeks. This time with about 9 minutes left and the Giants down 17-10. He comes up with a 25-yard punt return, getting the Giants out of deep, deep trouble where the field would have been tilted. Brings the ball out to their 38-yard line to give them an opportunity to operate, only down by one score. It would not to be, they would not get the points that they necessarily needed. However, you can't ignore the fact that Smith-Marset came up with another terrific return. So he gets our special teams game ball of the day. Now we flip it to the gassers. Well, how about the entire offense? Now we're going to separate specifically, all right, the fact that individuals had some nice days. Yes, the offensive line deserves credit for stepping up. Yes, Robinson and Nabers were very productive in what they were able to do catching the football. However, Drew Lock and the offense had only 238 total yards. They were 4 of 14 on third down, and the Giants only scored 13 points. Now, on the day, the Giants wound up running the ball 25 times for 100 yards, so it's 4 yards a carry. Tyrone Tracy, 14 carries for 59 yards. He had the Giants' longest run of the day for 16. So the run game was a bit substandard, just a bit. Drew Lock, 22 out of 29. One interception at the end of the game. He was in a kind of a Hail Mary, almost a Hail Mary situation. Had the touchdown pass to Malik Nabers, but only 138 yards on 22 completions. It was really dump-off city as the Giants just could not get the ball downfield. And that was a problem. So, again, even though the offensive line protected Locke, that also could have been a byproduct of the fact that he was getting rid of the ball really, really quickly. And maybe they were just too concerned about trying to get the ball downfield. Again, he was only hit twice, was Drew Lock. So I do want to give kudos to the line. They executed what they were told to do, but it just didn't seem like the Giants' offense was able to muster much at all. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to let the offensive linemen, we're going to let them off the hook, and we're just going to have the rest of the offense. Besides, we'll let Nabers off the hook too. You know what? We will, because he got the record. But everybody else will have to run some gassers. But it is what it is. You can't score just 13 points in a game. Defensively, well, this is pretty easy. There's going to be two gassers that got to be taken care of here. Boogie Basham and Kayvon Thibodeau. The Giants had an opportunity to get themselves, a chance for a final possession where they may have been able to do some damage in this game. It's the fourth quarter. It is a 17-13 game. And with 2 minutes to go, the Eagles have a 4th and 3 at the Giants' 41-yard line. And it looks like they may be going for it. But what do? They draw Boogie Basham offsides. So not only do the Eagles get the first down, but they also get to run more clock. Giants, of course, now are going to have to use all 3 of their timeouts during the Eagles' possession. 4 snaps later. No, 3 snaps later on a 3rd and 12 from the Giants' 38 on a short 6-yard pass that would have set up a 4th and 6, and I would presume a field goal. Well, personal foul as Thibodeau got his hands up trying to knock down the pass, and he hits the face mask of the quarterback. Personal foul, automatic first down, run some more clock off of the scoreboard. As McKee got whacked in the face, again, McKee, 3rd-string quarterback out of Stanford, was playing QB for the Eagles on this day with injuries to both Jalen Hurts with the concussion and Kenny Pickett. So 2 penalties on this drive that gave the Eagles first downs and forced the Giants to have to use all 3 of their timeouts to the point where Elliott's 32-yard field goal with 47 seconds to go made it a 20-13 Eagles lead. Giants get the ball back with no timeouts, and Drew Lock, trying to do what he could to get the Giants downfield, was unable to get them the score that they would need. They got to their own 38, and then a deep ball down the left side for Jalen Hyatt was picked off, and that was the ball game with 36 seconds left. The Giants fall to the Eagles 20-13. So Basham and Thibodeau with penalties on that final drive. Again, it just took a chunk of time away from the Giants, as they may have had more time on their final drive to do some damage. On special teams, we're simply going to go to the kickoff return unit here. No one in particular gets flagged. Okay, there's no penalty, and we're not going to point the finger anywhere. We're simply going to say at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, Isaiah Rodgers has a 51-yard kickoff return to the Giants' 43. You cannot give up a 51-yard kickoff return. Now, at the time, the Giants were down 10-0, and you're saying to yourself, wow, big return like that. The Linc is rocking. The Eagles fans are going crazy. The Giants are about to get blown out. Fortunately, the Giants defense held. They forced the Eagles into a 4th down situation. In fact, it was a 4th and 2 from the Giants' 35. And instead of opting for an Elliott field goal, which would have been from about 53 yards out, the Eagles decided to run a pass play, which went incomplete and allowed the Giants to take over the football. On that ensuing drive, the Giants wound up going 58 yards in 10 plays, Graham Gano hitting a 25-yard field goal. And, the Giants were able to somewhat get back into the game at that point at 10-3 to make it a 1-score game midway through the 3rd quarter. So all's well that ended well, but the kickoff return coverage unit has to get the special teams gasser for giving up a 51-yarder to begin the second half. Well, the Big Blue Breakdown is going to be back with a live show tonight, folks. The Giants will have locker clean out today. We'll get all the final comments from the players and anyone else from the organization who wants to talk. And then it's your chance to talk here. We'll take your video calls, your audio calls, or your comments in the chat room tonight on a special season-ending edition of the Big Blue Breakdown Live. It'll come your way here on the New York Giants on SI YouTube channel and media network. It'll be tonight at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live. We're back to talk New York Giants football with you. We hope to see you then. I'm Paul Dottino. Take care, everybody.